everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you so much for supporting me. And thank you to all those that have registered for the conference. The conference registration is still open. I'm going to close it out about a week and a half prior to the conference because the hotel needs a head count as well as the restaurant. And of course, for the limousines, I need a head count for those that are coming VIP. I just want to come on really quick. Number one, just to remind you, some of the topics we're going to be talking about. And I was sitting here thinking, because I'm going to have a class coming up soon for those that would like to register for the class where I'm addressing parenting after narcissist abuse. A lot of your children may be experiencing behavioral problems, and some of you guys are afraid to parent because of the fact that you think that if you parent or you start guilt parenting, that you look like the mean parent. So they would love the other parent more than you. And so a lot of you are having problems with parenting. I'm going to talk about some behavior modification techniques, and with your child. I'm even going to help you with some tips. I'm not going to tell you what those tips are, but some tips that therapists learn that narcissists do all the time to help you with your child and to help you rebond with your child. And it's not, everything that I put out is for informational purposes only. This is not for the purpose of providing you with therapy. You need to find a therapist. And I tell everyone that has been in a relationship with a narcissist, especially if you're coming out and you have children with a narcissist, it is best to go and find a therapist that specializes in children. Especially when they're coming out and they're having behavioral problems, and some of these kids are putting hands on you. Some of these kids are coming out and they're putting hands on you. Yes, to my southern mothers, Caucasian, black mothers, brown mothers, any kind of mothers, southern mothers. Yeah, these kids are coming out putting hands on you. I just got caught up in the moment. Just click for a minute. Kids coming out putting hands on you, and some of you guys, are so accustomed to being abused by the narcissist that you don't even know what to do because the child is now putting hands on you, and you don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with little Johnny. Send little Johnny over here. But I'm going to talk about some of that. I'm going to talk about some behavioral modification techniques. And the thing about it is ladies and gentlemen, that when you're parenting, anytime that you're parenting, but especially if you're parenting a child after coming out of a relationship with a narcissist, is not an easy task to retrain and modify that behavior. And a lot of that modification starts with you. So a lot of those kids are traumatized, especially those of you that when they're young, you hear those diagnoses called the oppositional defiant disorders. A lot of those oppositional defiant disorders and like disorders like that in childhood are precursors into personality disorders. If you look at anybody in the past, the Dahmers and those, I don't know all their psychological history, but a lot of them were having issues in childhood, killing animals, burning stuff down, pyro, whatever they're called. But a lot of them were having behavior issues when they were younger. Some of them did. Antisocial personality traits when they were young, oppositional defiant disorders. That's one of the main ones right there where kind of grab, so it's good to get them when they're young, before that personality sets in, before your child develops NPD. Get them into counseling, get them into, you ask that therapist, first of all, do you specialize in children? Find someone that specializes in children. Find someone that specializes in trauma with children. You can call your local domestic violence agencies to ask questions in reference to counselors. Sometimes the counselors are listed through the agencies where you can get a counselor for your child. If they're 4 and under, when they're really, really young, it's a family counseling type thing. Ask them if they are trauma informed. But like I said, a lot of them that are registered with like domestic violent programs or like the sexual assault programs within your cities are ones that specialize in this type of trauma, especially with children. That's what you want to look for. Here we have the Pierce County Sexual Assault Center. So it depends on what state you're in. what state you're in, or you can call the national hotline to ask them for the resources that can assist you with getting your children into counseling. But the quicker you intervene and the younger you intervene, there's a possibility you can stop that from developing when they get older. But a lot of you are beating yourself up because you didn't know. You didn't have the information. You didn't know. So if you didn't know that information, how do you know? Another thing too is a lot of you have gone through, you coming out and you're finding out you have post-traumatic stress or complex post-traumatic stress. You have been trained to think a certain way. We were on Clubhouse on Monday. Excuse me, I had a long day. Woo. But a lot of you that are on Clubhouse with Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, Apostle Sadler, on Mondays, when she comes on Mondays, we were talking about trauma. We were talking about just communication. We're talking about so many things, cosmetology, mental health, physical health, especially those that have been traumatized. When you have been traumatized, you have learned to adapt to your world a certain way. You have learned to think a certain way. You have learned to survive in society a certain way. There are things that you do that you're on autopilot. You are literally on autopilot. And when you take it off of autopilot, for you, it becomes a little more difficult than the average person that has to you have to almost overthink what you're going to say or how you're going to say what you're going to say, because you're on autopilot to a point where you will say things but don't realize that you're hurting the person that you're talking to. You'll say things or you respond a certain way, or you don't realize that it has become offensive or that you're hurting someone, or the way that you said someone, because you are reacting to this trauma that is in your subconscious that you don't know is there, and it's autopilot. You don't even think about it. You don't until someone brings it up. When they bring it up, there's one or two things that happen. You're really embarrassed or hurt. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I did this, and this is how people were taking it. Or number two, you might be in denial, like, no, that's not how I'm thinking. And in reality, you're now having to take yourself off of autopilot that you have survived throughout life. Take yourself off of autopilot, and you actually have to think. You are like most children that have maybe like IEPs, or like have ADHD, or people that have brain damage, that have to really focus on it. It's like being in a car accident. I don't have that experience, but being in a car accident where you're having to relearn how to talk. So these people are having to go, these patients that have been in a severe car accident, they're having to go and learn things at their age that we already know, that they've known all that time, and they're having to go back to physical therapy to learn how to walk, to learn how to learn those fine motor skills, to be able to do a simple task like this that we have mastered a long time ago. And you see them, and they're trying to hold the pen, but their fine motor skills are off. They're learning speech pathology. They go to a speech pathologist, and they're having to relearn how to pronounce their words, enunciation, pronunciation. And their brain is not clicking. They know what's in their head, but it's not like a stroke. Someone that had a stroke, they're having to relearn to their motor skills, their speaking ability. What's in their head is not, it won't compute. It doesn't come out the same way. Or having to walk, those motor skills in the feet. What was so easy at one time, they hadn't. Well, that's the same way that you're having to relearn life from a place of healing, because you have been injured and wounded, and you've been on autopilot for so long. You don't even realize that sometimes you're so ugly. You don't even realize sometimes that you hurt people when you're talking. You don't even realize that some of the things, how you, and people are looking like, dang, what's wrong with you? And you don't even realize, because you're on autopilot, because that is your defense mechanism overcompensating. Your defense mechanism is overcompensating to protect yourself. So it's being triggered off of little things that are not even that serious for you to have to overprotect yourself. But you've been in overprotection mode so much that, you overcompensate. So to take yourself off of autopilot and to have to fly that plane yourself means that you literally have to think. You have to overthink situations sometimes to make sure you're thinking like, how do I want to say this? When I say this, what do I mean? How will this be interpreted? Let me think before I speak, and it's good to think before you speak. There's some people you look and they have a comeback. They got answers. They come. They're not offensive. They come back, But for you, it may not be that easy. It's day by day, step by step, every day. And the more you practice it, the more you break it. And that's why a lot of you think that, I wonder if I'm the narcissist. Because of the fact that you have a comeback. You have learned these skills, these negative skills from the narcissist. So you act and respond the same way that they do. Well, they react. But you act and respond, react and respond the same way that they do. And so you're and it's almost like you're mortified to feel, oh my gosh, how do I fix it? You have to actually think about what you're going to say or how you're going to answer a question, or and stop overthinking in your head to be defensive. Well, I don't like that person, or they're triggering me. And so then you even have to pay attention to how your face looks, all these things that but when we're at this conference, those are some of the things I'm going to address. Not that it's what I'm going to address. Well, what I'm going to address is, first of all, how you developed your attachment style, because it came from a parenting style. And from that parenting style, what kind of attachment style do you have? And what kind of love language do you have? What type of love language do you have? So those of you that are actually registered for the conference, go look up, and I'll send you guys the link. Go look up online the 5 love language tests. Take the 5 love language tests. Just put it in your computer or print it out and bring it with you. And that is going to be a topic of discussion as well. I'm also going to talk about things like manipulation. What purpose does this manipulation serve? What is it saying about the person? What are they trying to do? Because once you become aware of what is happening around you, it's easier for you to respond versus reacting. Another thing, a lot of times, you want to change, and this is something I'm going to do in the class. You want to change that narcissist. The narcissist is not going to change. And the thing is that you have to change you. You have to change the way that you think. You have to change the way that you respond. Once you start changing you, being around dysfunctional people is not going to bother you as much. Of course, it's going to bother you because they're irritating, but it's not going to bother you the way that it has. But most people are, even when you come to parenting your children, you're so over concerned about them that you're parenting your child based off of them. That's where you're making a mistake at. But I'm going to talk about that in the class. So those of you that are interested in that class, let me know. I'm going to develop a class, and maybe like an hour class, and I will put it out there for you to register for that particular class at a low fee, but register for that class. But also those of you that have gone through PTSD, you're having to relearn life all over again. You're having to relearn how to respond to people all over again, to communicate all over again. And it's complicated and it's painful. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just want to come in just a few minutes just to remind you guys, make sure you go look right up underneath the video. Go look at my community tab. Go look in Facebook. Look on Instagram. And you can register for the conference. Don't wait till the last minute. I need to get a head count, because I need a head count for the limousines, for those that are VIP, and I need a head count, especially downstairs, for the meet and greet and for the room and for the food. And so those of you that are able to come, and I hope you can come, I really would like to meet you. But if you can't come, we are also doing it live on Zoom. So those of you that are not able to attend in person, I will have it on Zoom for those. And then I also have a private Facebook group for those that have registered for the conference. If you have not registered for the conference, I'm not going to let you in there because of the fact that I'll be broadcasting on there for those that may have problem with Zoom. So those of you that are on Zoom, download the app, start getting familiar with it, so that when I send you the link, my team sends you the link, you guys will be prepared. And if you can't get on, you will not miss anything. It is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on July 31st at the Hilton Dallas Lincoln Center. So it's the Hilton Dallas, downtown Dallas. It's beautiful down there, y'all. It's beautiful. Take a vacation. Love yourself. Come and we will primp on Saturday the evening. So those of you that are VIP, we're gonna be bougie. We're gonna get a nice limousine, go somewhere to eat. And those of you that are VIP, I'm gonna send you guys the restaurant that we're going to. Right now I have a team member doing the reservations for us. But I'm so excited. I really am. And I really appreciate you guys that are investing in this and that are willing to learn something from this. I think you're going to come out with a lot. I think you're going to come out with a lot of information. You're going to come out with a lot of information. And I'm really, really excited because I have an excellent team and excellent panelists that are going to be on there. Ms. Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence legal advocate, who's going to talk to you guys about what to do in the courtroom, what not to do in the courtroom, how to vet lawyers, how to look for lawyers, what to say, what not to say, what to say in court, what not to say in court, what is available to you, and the program that she works for. We have Mr. Marcus Monroe, who takes a lot of time in teaching women about the laws of mentality. And he's going to talk to you about this group that you guys see that are these predators that are out to get these high value women that are particularly looking for women like you, and these predators. But he's going to teach you some things because he used to be in that group at one point in time. He was able to get out of it, and he got out of it intact with his character intact. He's not a narcissist. And so he's going to be talking to us. And then, of course, my big sister, Kathy Gibson, who was an author. You guys seen the books on there. She's an author, and also she has a program called My Life is Intentional. And so she's going to be with us. I'm so excited about that. And of course, our mom, our hero, my mentor, my leader, the one that, I give honor to because she was with me and she walked me through the pain that I went through and encouraged me to do what I'm doing now. And if it wasn't for a mentor like her, who knows, I probably would have blew up an entire state, been in prison somewhere, who knows, but thank God I had someone like her to support me, to mentor me, and she has the platform. I don't know what her topic is, but it's going to be awesome anyway, and they have the floor, and they're going to talk to you, so you got to be out there. Come on, you guys got to register. Don't wait till the last minute. Come on, my people. Don't wait till the last minute. Go ahead and get your registration in so we can, and then next year I'm going to be in Atlanta. So those of you that are in the Georgia area and want to come to the Atlanta area, I will be in Atlanta. I talked to some of you guys, got your point of view. 6 months out, I'm going to do a registration. So I'll do the registration again like in January, February time frame. So January, February is a pretty good time frame to do a conference in July. So January, February time frame, I'm going to open it up for registration for Atlanta. 9,000 degrees, y'all. You can hear the fan blowing back here because it got hot in Washington. Washington is not hot, but it got hot sometimes. And it's just, I already preparing myself for the heat in Dallas, and so it's hot. So, but Atlanta, we know it's going to be hot anyway. Atlanta next year, I'll be in Atlanta next year in July. So those of you that are going to join me in Atlanta, I want you guys to join me in Atlanta. So make sure you register. Look right up underneath this video, and you'll see the link. So click on the video, look up underneath the link, and you'll look up underneath the video, and you'll see the link to register at Ticket Leap for and remember, if you bring more people, the sponsor themselves, if you bring 5 people, the sponsor's coming free. So get 5 people, that's $140 per person, that's $700. If you bring 10 people, you, the sponsor, are the 11th person, the sponsor gets in free. And then the other ones are paying $120. And then if you bring 20 people, the sponsor, the 21st person, which is the sponsor gets in free. And then the other 20 only paying $100. That's a deal for a big group. And the thing is that I want the group to come in so you guys can hear this information. Some of you guys are working in these fields. Some of you guys are thinking about going into the field. Some of you guys are recovering from this. You need some information. Bring your tissues. If you're going to blow snot, we're going to blow snot. We're going to cry. Probably I'm going to make sure my eyelashes are intact so I can cry with you. Now, I can't be up there teaching and crying with you at the same time, but I'm going to take a break so I can cry with you. We can hug. We can shake hands for the first time. I get to meet you. I am so excited. Make sure you don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm Dr. Carmen Bryant. I'm the host of Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. You find me on Facebook. You can find me on, like I used to say back in the day, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. Find me on Twitter at Dr. Carmen Bryant 1. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. You can find me on LinkedIn I think I'm on Dr. Carmen Bryant on LinkedIn, but it's all the same information. I'm on podcasts. I just haven't done anything on Podbean in a long time. I haven't done anything podcast. I'm paying for it and not doing anything in it because I have all these other platforms. But I thank you. Make sure you go check out my mother's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Your Destiny Helper. She provides you information about narcissist abuse and recovery from a biblical and a spiritual perspective. Just because you don't believe in God or believe in Jesus Christ, listen to her, because the principles of what she's talking about, she can relate it to you. And then she even talks about those that don't believe in God and, the principles behind, that narcissist and recovery from that narcissist. She's awesome. She's a dynamic speaker. She's known well. Matter of fact, she's well known in Africa, and she is a world traveler. She's a globetrotter. She is a world changer. And I am so grateful that she is my leader and that I'm submitted to my leader. And so you have other people on there. You got Telsha, the T with NPD, who is on YouTube. You have Honorable Bishop Arsley Blakes. He's phenomenal. He's an excellent teacher and pastor. My pastor, Helen Sadler, Your Destiny Helper. You have people on there that can help you, and you have to find your style, whatever fits you. One size doesn't fit all. I may not be for everybody. Helen Sadler, Your Destiny Helper, may not be for everybody. The T with the T about N. Okay, Telsha, I apologize. I know you're probably watching, but the T with NPD, I think that's right, the T with NPD. But she may not be for everybody. So one size doesn't fit all. You find who fits you. You find who gives you information. Don't find the ones that pump you up and get you all, all pumped up and angry and do they provide you with healing afterward? You get all into your emotions. You got to be careful because there are a lot of narcissists out there too. And they get you all into your emotions and everything, and then they pull you to them. And their whole goal is not to heal you. The whole goal is to pull you to them. You need to pay attention to me. So you guys got to be careful. And then, of course, well, I'll leave that to myself. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Those of you that are looking for coaching services, I do provide coaching services. You can email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. You can find it right up underneath the video, and I will provide you with my rates for coaching. If you are in the Washington area and you would like counseling, you can contact me to see if I'm in a network with your provider, your insurance, to see if I'm in network, and we can set something up if I have availability. Those of you that are looking for counseling outside the state of Washington, you can go to BetterHelp.com. This is I support BetterHelp.com / Dr. Carmen. They'll give you a 10% discount by using the link. You can also vet the counselor. Ask them questions. Do you understand post-traumatic stress? Don't go on there all pumped up. Do you understand narcissist abuse? No. Do you understand post-traumatic stress? Do you understand domestic violence? Do you understand the after effect of psychological abuse and domestic violence? Do you understand parental alienation? Ask them, are you trauma informed? Those are the questions that you ask. And if you're having financial issues, let them know, and then they will assist you, and they may provide you with the grant. Grant doesn't mean you get it for free. Grant just means you get it lower than what you're getting. And then they charge less than what I charge per hour as a therapist in the first place. So they're very reasonable and very good. And I've heard some very good things about it. I support them. Do make commission off of them. But you are welcome to contact them. BetterHelp.com / Dr. Carmen. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys at the conference. You guys get to see me laugh at my own jokes, because I laugh at myself and make you laugh with me. You'll be laughing at me, laughing at myself. So I am so grateful, and I'm so excited, because we're going to laugh, we're going to cry, we're going to eat, and we're going to be bougie, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. You guys have a wonderful day. And go.